word problems containing linear equations. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Here is an example. So the topic for today is linear equations, word problems. So an example. When 2 times a number is decreased by 3, the number is 11. Question is, what is the original number? Like any word problem in algebra, we will assume. So solution is, you get that? In an unknown problem, unknown variable, in algebra, it always is considered as x. So we will say let x be the unknown number. So like the problem said, 2 times a number, which is 2 multiplied by x, is decreased by 3. So decreased means subtracted. 3 is subtracted of 2x. The number is 11. What is the original number? That means we have to solve for x. Solve for x. Like I said before, we have to separate the constant term from the unknown variable. 3 is a constant, 11 is a constant. On the left side of the equation it's minus 3. I want to remove it to the right side. So I'm going to remove this 3. What do? I do the opposite operation. Minus the opposite is plus. Add 3 on both sides. So it becomes 2x is equal to 11 plus 3, 14. Now I divide 2 times x, the opposite operation is division. Again I want to separate the constant 2 from the variable x, therefore I have to separate the 2. 2 multiplied by x, the opposite operation is division. What you do on the left side of an equation, you do on the right hand side also. And this 2 will cancel with this 2. And x is equal to, then 2 goes into 14 7 times. Or you might write it like this, x such that x is equal to, so again remember this vertical line is such that x equal to, these two forms are identical. Okay, let's do another problem. Okay, for a change, let's change the color of the ink. When a number is decreased by 20%, of itself, comma, the result is 20. What is the number? Now, as before, solution, let x be the number, let x be the unknown number. So we have x decreased by means subtracted of it. So x is the number from which we are going to subtract 20% of x. 20% means 20 divided by 100 x. So in this case the whole number 1x is reduced by 20 divided by 100 of x, or 20% of x. The result is 20. So that is equal to 20. So we have x, we do not write the 1 in algebra convention. 20 divided by 100 is 0.2, x equal to 20. Now 1x minus 0.2x, as with anything in algebra, we operate on the coefficients. So 1 is the coefficient of x in the first term, minus 0.2 is the coefficient of x in the second term. 1 minus 0.2 is 0.8, x equal to 20. Now we will separate the constant term from the unknown variable x. We know 0.8x means 0.8 multiplied by x. What is the opposite of that? We have to separate the constant term from the unknown. 0.8 multiplied by x, the opposite is division. So we divide by 0.8 on the left side. What we do on the left side of the equation, we have to always do on the right hand side of the equation. So this 0.8 cancels with this 0.8. We are left with x equal to 20 divided by 0.8, which can be written as 20 divided by 0.8 is nothing but 8 divided by 10. Or we can separate them out. 20 in the numerator multiplied by, this is multiplication, not x, multiplication. Now when we bring the term in the denominator to be multiplied with the term in the numerator, which is 20, they flip over. That's the rule of arithmetic. 10 divided by 8. So we have in the numerator 20 times 10, which is 200, and that is divided by 8. Now if you use your calculator, or you can know that 4 goes into 8 2 times, 4 goes into 250 times. So this is 50 over 2, and 2 then goes into 50 25 times. So your final answer is 25. Again, what did I do? Just to repeat, when a number is decreased by 25 of it, 20% of itself, the result is 20. So 1x, 20%, as you know, per century, that means per 100, 20 divided by 100, reduced by subtracted. So x minus 0.2x is 20. We operate with the coefficient. 1 minus 1 is the coefficient of x in the first term, 1 minus 0.2 coefficient in the second term. 1 minus 0.2 is 0.8x equal to 20. We have to separate, remove 0.8 in front of x, which is multiplied by, do the opposite, divided by on both sides. So 0.8 divided by 0.8, they cancel. X is 20 divided by 0.8. Use your calculator. or you can use algebra or arithmetic. 20 divided by 0.8 by 10, 0.8 is 8 over 10, so 20, and then you do the multiplication to do the division. When you do the multiplication, the term in the denominator in the bottom flips over, so it becomes 20 multiplied by 10 divided by 8, or 200 by 8, which is actually the answer is, so x is 25 is your answer. Any question on this, you can always shoot me a note and I will answer your question. Okay, so now let's express in English phrase into an algebraic expression. Okay, okay, so here is an expression, English expression, which will convert to algebraic expression. The difference between the product of six and a number product of 6 and a number, and negative 2 times that number, and negative 2 times that number. How do you express it in algebra? Okay, so let's work with the first line. The difference between the product of 6 and a number. If x is the number, 6, product of 6 and a number is 6x. Okay, and negative 2 times the same number, so minus 2x. 6x, the difference, so I got it wrong. Okay, the difference of between the product of 6 and a number, 6x, and negative 2 times, so difference is given by minus, and then the next one is negative 2 times that number, so 6 parenthesis minus 2x. You understand why it is inside parenthesis, because the first is 6, product of 6 and a number, and then it is difference, so minus, the second word is difference is minus, and then what is 6x minus, it's negative 2 times that number, negative 2x. So this will be equal to 6x, and then we'll take the minus, it is a minus 1, distribute it to the minus 1 times another minus 1, 2 minuses make it positive, rule of algebra. So it is 6x plus 2x, and that is equal to 8x. So that's your final answer. So you're converting an English phrase into an algebraic expression, difference between the product of 6 and a number. If the number is x, unknown number 6x. Difference is minus. And what is it difference from? Negative 2 times that number. Therefore you have inside the parenthesis. The only reason I put the parenthesis after the minus sign here is to separate what is subtracted from 6x is negative 2x. Why did I do that? Because the next I will take the minus sign. Minus means minus 1, distribute it to the minus 2x. Minus 1 with a minus will become positive. Very important. 2 minuses distributed, 1 minus distributed to the other minus or multiplied by becomes a positive. 1 minus multiplied by another minus is positive. So 6x plus 2x is 8x. Now let's flip the board and do a little bit more challenging word problem. So here is a word problem. Each day the number of births in the world exceeds twice the number of deaths by 72,000. Okay, this is one statement. Next sentence is this period. If the population increase in a single day is 228,000, determine the number of births and deaths per day. Each day, what is the number of births and death? So the number of births and the number of deaths in a day are unknown. Let X be the number of births in a day. And let Y be the number of deaths in a day. Okay, so based on the first information, this is information 1, this is information 2. Each day the number of births in the world, so from number 1 we get the number of births in the world exceeds twice the number of deaths. That means 2 times Y is equal to 72,000. Okay, so we can separate out the variables, add 2Y on both sides. So X is equal to 72,000 plus 2Y. Now we need to know the value of Y to solve for X, which we do not know. And from number 2 statement, we get if the population increase in a single day is 228,000, that means X is the number of birth, Y is the number of death, X minus Y is 228,000. Again, we can add Y on both sides. So X is equal to 228,000 plus Y. So we have one equation for X, another equation for X. Same X on the left hand side of both the equations. Since the left hand side of both 1 and 2 are same, that is x, i.e. means that is x, the right hand side must be, the right hand sides must be equal, must be the same or equal, because the left hand sides are equal. So that means from 1 equate the right hand side I will write by RHS, right hand side of 1 and 2. Okay, so that means 72,000 plus 2y is equal to 228,000 plus y. Okay, now we have to separate the variables. You know, 228,000 is greater than 72,000. So we will subtract 72,000 on both sides. So that way we will be left with 2y equal to 228,000 minus 72,000, which is 156,000 plus y. Do not forget the plus y. Then subtract y on both sides. So y, 2y minus y is equal to 156,000. This is the number of deaths per day. Deaths per day. And what is x? X is 228,000 plus y. Okay. So it is equal to 228,000 plus 156,000. So x is equal to then 228 plus 156 is 8 plus 6 is 14, 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 8, 1 is 8, and 2 plus 1 is 384,000. So 156,000 is the number of death per year, per day, and number of births per day is 384,000. Does it make sense? Okay. Does it make sense? Okay. So let's check X. Population increase per day. Population increase per day. Is number of births minus the number of deaths is equal to 384,000 is the number of births minus the number of deaths is 156,000, and that works out to be 384 minus 156 is 228,000, which checks out from between here and here. So it checks out that the population increase in a single day. So increase in a single day is 228,000, which is number 2. Okay. So the values we obtain for X, number of births per day is 384,000, Number of deaths per day is 156,000. So the population is increasing per day by 228,000, which matches with what is stated in statement number 2. So that's a check on our calculation. So again, summarizing, what I did was to convert the English expression into algebraic expression. Every day the number of births in the world exceeds the number of death by 72. If x is your number of birth, and y is the number of death, then x x is twice the number of deaths by 72,000. So x minus x is the number of births minus twice the number of deaths is 72,000. Also, statement number 2, population increase in a single day is 228,000. That means x minus y is 228,000. Okay, then what did we do from one? We solved for x in both these two equations. Okay, x minus 2y from number 1 is 72,000, x is 72,000 plus 2y, and x minus y is 228,000, so x is 228,000 plus y. Now on the left hand side of both 1 and 2 you have x, left hand side of both equations. So the left hand sides are equal, therefore the right hand side, they have to be equal too, which we did in this step. Then we solved for y. Once we solved for y, we plugged it back in one of the equations to solve for x. Once we solved for x, we then checked out x minus y is the increase in population per day, and that works out to 228,000. So it's a check on our calculation that the figures we got for x and y are correct. So I'll stop here today. If you have any question or comment, write me a note. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you like this video, please give me thumbs up. That really motivates me. If you like this video, share with your friends. You and your friends, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button. Same time, please click on the notify button. This will notify you on your phone every time I upload a new video, which I do almost every day. So you and your friends, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I'll be back soon. Take care. Have a nice day.